Beth, would you like to read the minutes? Could you? I tell you what, how about this? Does everybody have a copy of the minutes? Rather than her read it, could you just look at it for a couple of minutes, and then we could? Would that be more to your liking? I know you would. I know you, but we've got a copy enough for everybody. There's no reason that people can't look at it themselves. Okay, and had a couple of minutes to read this, and maybe some of you are still um, catching up on those. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the minutes that are provided tonight? Okay, have a motion to accept them as they are. Scott Long is a first, a second. Katie Rattles is a second. Any comments or questions? If not, everybody in favor of accepting the minutes as they are presented tonight, say with an aye. Any opposed? They're presented. Financial team, would you like to present the finances? Okay, Jody. I'm going to have you do the live streaming.
All right. Hello, everybody. Um, well, I have the privilege to do the financials. It's been an exciting time at Wildwood here lately. We are 3/4 of the way through the year, so 75% would be our target for the budget part. And if at the top in the income, you'll notice that we're at 93.7% of our budget. So it's been phenomenal. So thank you for faithfulness and for all of those that support the ministry, and looking forward to some of the things that we're going to be able to do because of that as we get ready to do the budget again for the next year. So excited about that. I'll just highlight a few things that are a little bit of an anomaly and then open it up for questions. You'll note the music supplies is at 116%. The reason for that is the beautiful work that was done back here on the sound booth, which I believe is greatly improved, and they have more room to do their thing, and thankful to all of the men that came together to get that done, because even though that's way over budget, that did include the labor that was put in, and there's quite a bit of labor that was put in for that project. So we're grateful for all of that has come together. And then I highlighted the media library because I can never get these ladies to spend this money, and they're at 133%. They've gone hog wild. Go, Brenda. They replaced a printer. That was the exciting thing that they've done. But she did submit a budget, and I've gotten her a ramp card, and so she's going to spend some money next year. But all that aside, you know that they do an amazing job. I don't know how they do it without spending the money, so it's a conundrum how they accomplish what they do. But our library is amazing, so visit it. Right? Yeah, okay. Treasure supplies, that would be me. I'm a little over budget too, but that's because of buying a 3-year package of checks to send out. So, and the same with office supplies. Whenever you kind of buy a bulk, you get a good deal, but sometimes it puts you over budget. But no worries because of the wonderful excess we have on the income side. And then finally, capital improvements, kind of in the middle of the page on the back. We're at 173%. Capital improvement we're kind of using as we see how our income is, maybe get some things done. So we didn't necessarily budget for things we didn't know about. We had the opportunity, thanks to Scott and some connections that he has, Scott Long, to get an AED for the church here. So we now have that. It's come in, Lou said, this week. And so we'll be putting that up on the wall. So that's just one more good thing just to have for the safety of our congregation and all of us that are here. So that's exciting to be able to just even do things like that. So I just praise God for that. And then finally, if you go down to the bank balances, those of you that have been here for a while, $103,000 in our bank balances, which is crazy. Thank you, Lord. So we don't want to be just sitting on that kind of money. We don't want to go crazy, but we all know there's some things that need to be done. One, it's kind of hard to see in here, right? For a couple of years, we've been attempting to get the light systems fixed, and it's not just as easy as putting new bulbs in. Otherwise, we would have done that, and I know that it has been done in places that it can. We have finally, still maybe? Okay. We might have a solution, which is really exciting, and we have the funds to be able to do that. And then we are also, the maintenance team's been working on getting some bids for doing something to our parking lot. So that could be exciting. As I say that, those of you that are interested or have ideas of projects that you feel maybe need to be done over the next few years, if you want to present some sort of solution to whatever it is that you think is a good idea, we're willing to take a look at those and see if there's some possibilities to have that done. We want to keep a good emergency fund and that sort of thing, but we want to be good stewards and take good care of our building, and so it's a fun place to be able to do that. So I just want to give the glory to God and thank you all for your faithfulness. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much. Jody does such a great job of making numbers look easy. So yeah, I mean that sincerely. The numbers are not easy for me. All right, so we have the financial report. Do we have a motion to accept it as it was presented by Jody and on the paper there? Motion from anyone on that? Sarah Oswald is a first. A second? Todd Doherty, you got that one in that time, okay? Like going to an auction, right? I have a first, I have a second. Anyone have any questions about anything in the financial report? Okay, if that's no questions asked, everybody that will move to accept the minutes as they were presented, say by aye. Anyone opposed? They are now passed. Hey, Scott, how are you? Good. Okay, so we've gone through that. The next, we've got through that. The next piece of new business, it's that time of the year that we will be seeking out people to work in different departments. There are different departments that every year, it's not like we're forcing anybody out, but there are some things like the personnel team, the finance team, and the trustees that by constitution they have to rotate out so you don't have just one power person there. launched in there forever, and so those positions rotate out. So we have to get new people to be able to serve, and those are all real important pieces. The trustees, they look if we have to have any legal documents to be able to be signed. Those guys or ladies, I think Laura's on that team now, takes care of that. The personnel team, they look at the matters of what goes on with our paid employees and those type of things. Those have to get, those rotate out. The financial team, which does a phenomenal job. Ever since I've been, last Friday was my 6-year anniversary since being the lead guy here. I mean, the financial team just does, they make it real easy. They make it easy, and so but those numbers, you don't want to keep the same people, and so those people rotate out, and so the nominating team looks for people that can serve in those capacities, and then wherever the needs fall, and so again, it's not like we're just looking to replace people each year. The biggest needs are that people that like I said, are rotating out, and so then we've got to bring those people in there. So that being said, this is the business meeting that we put a nominating team in place, and then they go forward toward the first of the year to be able to find those people. And then in addition to that, the nominating team stays in place for the remainder of the year. So if there is a position that has to be filled, then they can come back together and they can be able to work with that. And so they can work closely with that. So it's not just a one and done. You guys met at least a couple of times throughout the year, didn't you, Gene? So here's how it works on the nominating team. By the Constitution, we nominate 4 people from the floor. Okay, that's amongst in here, or if somebody's not here and for some reason they would want to serve. And we know that because there may be a reason that somebody's not here because of work or an illness or whatever. There will be a 5th person, which Gene, because he's part of the pastoral team, that will serve in that capacity on there. So we'll have the 5 people, 1 from the pastoral team, which is Gene, and then the 4, which will be nominated from the floor, and then that group will work together to be able to fill in those gaps. And it is a very important piece, very important mechanism throughout the year. So that being said, we'll start it this way. Is there anybody, because I see some people in here tonight that I think really have administrative gifts to be able to work on a nominating team. I mean, I could pick several that have those kind of management, personnel, HR type of gifts. Is there anybody in here that wants to volunteer for a place on that nominating team? So let's hand it that way first. Is there someone here that says, "Gosh, that sounds like a great way to serve, to be able to do that"? Oh, no takers yet. Now, I always like it when they look toward the ground, like they don't look at me, Scott Hoover. Then you did that. Kathy, did you say you wanted to? Oh, well, you do. You go to a car auction and you walk away with like a '68 Shelby. So, oh, come on. It's really, there's not a lot of time commitment to it. There's not, but it is a vital piece. So, is there somebody? Scott Rattles, thank you very much. So I have one nomination from the floor. Scott Rattles. Okay, so we'll hold on to that one, and we'll bid on them all at the end. So I got one down at least from the floor. I need 3 more. Anybody else? With you being on paid staff, that makes it a little difficult. Yeah, on that kind of thing, it would probably be best. You could sit in on the nominating team, but being voted on it, no. So But I love your effort. All right. Anybody else like to from the floor? Antonio Miller in the back. He actually served last year in the capacity, and so now we've got 2 from the floor. We need 2 more. I certainly would like at least 1 or 2 females on this position so it balances out. That is really important. I don't want this to be a male weighted out piece. Jennifer, did you say you wanted to? Oh, I thought you said you wanted to. I'm sorry. My hearing's really bad. Okay. All right. I just Melissa Hoover, would you like to? Is that what you said? I saw you intently talking back there. Oh, okay. You told you. Okay, Melissa Hoover. All right. Yeah, I get. So now we have 3 from the floor. We need 1 more. Candace. Okay. All right. So that would be 2 and 2. We got 2 guys, 2 girls. I think it's a pretty good weighted out piece. Now here's the key piece. Let's vote if we can vote on them as one. So let's just do it this way. Do I have a motion from the floor to accept these 4? Scott Rattles, Melissa Hoover, Candace Cobble, and Tony Miller. Okay, so we got those. Who make a Jake makes a motion. Do I have a second? Scott Long is a second. So does anybody have any questions about this group of people? Okay, if that's being said, if we are very comfortable and would like to go ahead and say, yes, we're going to seal the deal with that, can everybody say with an aye? Any opposed? There it is. Okay. I think really this is a big deal. I mean, it's not time constraints, wise, but man, it's a big deal to be prayerful about this. So, next piece of new business. Do we have anything from the floor that we don't know about that somebody wants to bring up to the business meeting? And for those that are not aware of polity and Robert's Rules of Order, this would be a time that if you had an idea, and I think it's good to educate us on why we do it. Tony and I had this talk today on why do we do business meetings, because everybody is involved. Everybody's a part of the body. You know, it's important. The little thing with the nominating team, here's why it's important, okay? You nominate people that you trust that are going to seek out prayerfully people in those positions. And then we as a church body says, yes, not only do we trust the people that are going to pick them, now we're going to trust the people they search out prayerfully to pick, to serve within the church. And guess what? Then we just let them go out and do the ministry that they're called to do. That way we're not here voting over every issue, every meeting. We trust the people that God puts in our place. So, part of this thing from the floor is that you come to a business meeting and maybe you have something that you want to present to be voted on. And I don't know what that would be, but is there anybody here tonight that has anything that they would like to present to the church to be voted on or considered? Anybody? Cool. No, it'd be something like if somebody said, man, I think we need a new church van. And then we voted on it tonight. Probably that's not going to happen tonight, but that's an example. So nothing from the, did you have something? Okay. No, we're getting right there. No, we're getting right there. Okay, so the next piece from the meeting, since we got through the nominating team, that we have nothing from the floor, now we're going to look at committee-wise or individual ministries. So I'm going to give it to you first. That way just everybody knows where we're going. So
I just have a small housekeeping item I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. So on that back table back there, you'll see like the names and addresses list of all of our members, right? And so it's Christmas card time here before too long, and I really, really would be appreciative if everybody could check to make sure that their information is correct. Like if you've moved, have a new address or a new phone number or an email address, if you could just make sure that's correct on there for me, that'd be awesome. And if you're missing, please, by all means, let us know, because obviously, I mean, things happen. I just want to make sure that everybody's included. So if you could just check back there for correctness or any omissions, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Check out to the side if everything looks good. And if something needs to be changed, if you would change it and just make a note so we can see that, because we don't want someone to fall through the cracks. That's important. And it's Christmas card time. Anybody in here that doesn't love Joanne Dugan, this is Joanne Dugan's heart, is to be able to do Christmas cards. And then what her goal was, just so you guys know, to push it, because we do two big offerings that we take every year. We do Annie Armstrong and we do Lottie Moon, okay? Everybody know which one is at Christmas time? Very good. Yeah, just checking with you guys. They're missionaries. So Lottie Moon offering is what we take at Christmas time that goes to the International Mission Board to be able to send missionaries worldwide. Okay, we actually have some of that affected within our church body because we're online. I can only say limited, but we have members here that have kids on the mission field in the world that are being supported by that offering. Okay, and the cool thing about it is they send missionaries out. They don't have to if they get sent out by the International Mission Board, they don't have to raise their own funds. They're taken care of by the offerings we give at Christmas time. So the gospel being shared all over the world through that. Joanne Dugan's heart about, so just in case anybody ever wondered why we do Christmas cards the way we do Christmas cards, Joanne wanted to be able to take, I don't even know how, anytime that I send out something I give to Beth and she puts a stamp, how much are stamps now? How much? Well, almost $1. Okay, almost $1. So let's say you make out 50 or 100 Christmas cards for people in the church this year, just for mathematics' sake. Then you'd bring it in here and you put it out, and you wouldn't have to mail them. They get picked up. And then Joanne's heart was that for every stamp that you didn't put on a card to send it out, that you take the money that you would have on that stamp and you would put it into the mission fund to be able to go to foreign missionaries. That's why we do, just in case anybody wondered why we do it, the crazy little way we do it, it's a Joanne Dugan thing, and I think it's a brilliant piece. And sometimes we forget to pass those things along, but that was her goal, and so it's now been passed from Joanne to Beth, and so I'm looking around the room for any other teams to be able to share about their ministries. Sarah, you want to come up and share with the personnel team, please?
First, I'm going to give a little plug for personnel team because we are going to need a new person this year. So, no, it's such a privilege to be able to check in on our paid staff and make sure that they're doing well. And as far as job descriptions, we had a summer of non-productivity as far as that goes. But we're going to get back on that because I know the nominating team is probably going to need some of those. However, in light of the recent resignation of Quentin, we haven't met together yet. Scheduling that kind of like last minute was a little difficult. So we will be meeting on the 14th. We'll talk about the interim time. We'll talk about when we want to start putting out like a new job description for potential candidates. And and just taking care of all that. On the 14th, we'll meet with Lou, and we're also going to do an exit interview with Quentin, just so that we can see what we did right, or what we could do better, anything like that. I feel like that's important to sit down with somebody and have those conversations. So that's what we're going to do. In the meantime, for now, David and I have volunteered to make sure there's always somebody up here leading worship, whether it's us or somebody else. So just organizing that. I think that's all I have for now. Yep.
The personnel team it's a huge piece. So they make life easier on us that are especially paid to be able to make sure that we're okay. So I'm not going to make you wait till the last, even though it was really fun last time to do it, Katie. Would you like to come forward and share with the children's ministry? And by the way, if you've not been in the children's ministry since she's been doing it, she's been rocking it. Why? Oh, Scott would not mouth.
All right. So last time I came up here with like a whole paper. This time I came up with a note card. So we're improving, I guess. Or maybe I'm just just writing smaller. All right. So last time I came up, I said that I was looking for some more volunteers that were adults, and Pam Harrington stepped into that role. So that is an answered prayer. We've been able to split the kids into 2 age groups within the same room, and that's making our lesson time a lot more meaningful for everybody, because we're able to target the younger ones where they're at and go a little bit deeper with the older kids, and that's been really great. Alan Snyder's still serving once a month, so Pam's been stepping in on the other 3 weeks and partnering with me back there, and she's just amazing. I wish she was here tonight so I could tell her that, but she knows she's awesome. She's been a huge help. Let's see, Wednesday nights are going really well. We have settled into our new curriculum, and the Wednesday night crew is just fabulous. They all step in and do their week. They prepare their stuff. They show up. They find subs for themselves whenever they need a replacement, and Wednesday nights are just like rolling. It is really, really great. The curriculum is a lot of fun and engaging. We still just have very small numbers on Wednesdays, which I think is just an overall trend, but I'm praying against that, because that is our giant time chunk where we can really go so much deeper with the kids. And I would honestly love to see more kids on Wednesday nights than on Sundays, because that's where the meat is. I would love to see more adults on Sundays, because that's where the meat is for us, but it seems to be the opposite right now for what we're able to offer the kids. So be praying for our Wednesday night attendance, please. Other than that, I'm currently brainstorming different ways to get worship involved with the children's ministry better. I already have some worship stuff back there for them, but we just don't have the time. We're back there. We are doing prayer. We are doing our Bible lesson. We are doing engaging, fun activities, and they've already sat through worship up here, and shoving in one worship song back there once in a while is literally all that's happening, and it's not my heart. I want them to learn to worship. I want them to learn why we worship, and I want them to really fall in love with Jesus and feel his spirit as they are worshiping. And so we might be trying some different things. I don't know what that might look like. I have several different things swirling around in my head. So be praying for us for that, as we might try something weird here and might try something weird there, and just try to figure out what's going to work best for the children's ministry and their worship. So that's what I have. That's it.
Hey, before you leave, I just want to add one thing that we're doing. I'll be honest with you, this was really spearheaded originally by Beth. During Vacation Bible School, I don't know if you guys are aware of this now or not. Back in the old days, you would say a kid was autistic or a kid had Asperger's. I mean, it was kind of those two things. And I'm not an expert, so if I step out of line and say something that's incorrect, feel free to correct me. But now what they do is they call it the spectrum that kids will float on. During Vacation Bible School, we had 25% of the kids that were here attending that were on the spectrum in some way. And that number is not, by the way, that's not unusual just for us. Schools, churches everywhere are seeing that, okay? And our workers during VBS knocked the ball out of the park. We doubled up with some groups and workers to be able to help to make sure, because the whole goal is always to effectively minister to kids. Effectively minister. But we also want to make sure that we're equipping workers to be able to do that. Because sometimes if you have not been around a child that is on the spectrum, you don't know maybe how to best effectively communicate with them. And once you do communicate, once you figure it out, man, it is glorious, both for the kid and for the teacher. Trust me, I've had one of those that's happened recently with me. That being said, we decided that we wanted to be as much of a trendsetter as we could to be able to equip not only our workers, but our parents that maybe are struggling. And so what I did was that I reached out to the Missouri Baptist Children's Home. Actually, I reached out to our association, which are incredible to us. I can't ever brag enough about the Spring River Baptist Association and Kirk Baker, our DOM. But he directed me to the Missouri Baptist Children's Home. They came last night and made their first presentation. And myself and Katie and Beth and Abby and Melissa sat in to listen to what they were doing. They have a training called TBRI, right? It's not TRBI, it's TBRI. Trust-based relational intervention? Okay. And so we are going to be setting up a training time in January. It's way too much for us to just rush it into place right now, as much as we'd like to.
Maybe not in January.
Yeah, but I mean the first of the year. Yeah. And so we just want to share that's going to happen. And we want to do that to make all of our children and youth workers more equipped. And we want to be able to reach out to our parents that maybe are struggling, that maybe this can help them, because we want to be able to pour in and feed you, because our kids matter to us and our parents matter to us. And we are really going to put the invitation out to every church in the Spring River Baptist Association. I'm hoping when the training happens, we pack this place. You sure may.
Yeah, this training, anything that's going to be good for a kid on the spectrum is also going to be good for any kid. So this is not just for the parents in our congregation that have kids that are on the spectrum. This is going to be good for relating to your kid when they're struggling with regulating their emotions no matter what. So this is talking, I mean, even like just regular old puberty, teenage angst, just life. Or you're going through a hard time because life is hard. So this is going to be good not just for special needs parents, but all parents, grandparents, and even people who are involved in the children's ministry just a little bit, once a year at VBS. Anybody who's involved with our kids, we would love to come to this training and get just a deeper insight into how to relate to kids where they're at and coming down to their level and meeting them where they're at instead of always falling back on what's easier for us and expecting them to come up to our level. So,
hey, the best part about it, it's free. Which again comes back to missions offering, because we give to the Missouri Mission Offering every year, which goes into the Missouri Baptist Convention, which sponsors the Missouri Baptist Children's Home. So guess what? It doesn't cost us a thing, and part of it is because we give missions every year. So again, I'm giving you a little plug on giving to missions right now. Brenda. Absolutely we can. That's a great idea. No, when you go to the next meeting, because we have if you don't know, again, tonight, if you don't know, I want to make sure I want to communicate and educate some people. We have a group of about 200 students and teachers, or maybe more, that are in our building every Tuesday. I've had church members that have gone, Was there a funeral I missed? There were cars everywhere on Tuesday. No, we got HSN, which is part of the reason I'm never here on Tuesday, because I write my sermons on Tuesday, and this building is really loud. Would you agree with that? But it's good. It's joyful loud because we got kids. So at the next, Brenda is our liaison between the church and Homeschool Network. And so if you wouldn't mind passing that along to them, that would be great. And we'll whenever the date is, we'll let you know. Now that you're talking, would you like to share anything with the library? For the library? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't want to, neglect her. Oh, gosh. Okay. You outpunted your coverage there.
Okay, so Jody did pretty much cover the state of the library. The printer several weeks ago went nuts and it wasn't working, and so had to buy a new printer. Worked with that. I'm an intelligent person, and my master's is in educational technology, but I could not get the printer connected. So Sunday, David came in and saved the day. He had to work for several minutes, but he got it going. So we're printing labels again. Debbie's happy. She's got something to do. We are going to order some more books this year or next year, because we don't have a budget right now because we spent too much. But yeah, next year we're going to order more books. But we thank you guys for your support. Stop in and visit us.
Yeah. Hey, look, I will just tell you this again, plug. There are not many churches in this area anymore that have libraries. Okay? We are very fortunate. Man, and remember this. Leaders are readers, okay? Leaders are readers. Read a book. And reading is good for the cognitive stuff to be able to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's, too. It's one of those kind of things that works. So old guys like me try to read a lot because I don't want to fall into that category. So thank you very much. Scotty Rattles, you're kind of hiding out in the back. You got anything you want to share with Building and Grounds? But you're keeping it up, man. Can I? You want to come up here, or can I confirm a couple of things? We do have an incredible Building and Grounds team led by Scott Rattles, also with Larry Clark and Riley Martin, and Jake and Bill Reed jump in all the time. And I will just admit a mess up that I made, because I think we need to be able to laugh at ourselves, and Jim likes to laugh at me a lot. So I've been thinking all year long that Bill Reed was still on the Building and Grounds team, and so he lives so close to the church. Anytime if I couldn't get a hold of Scott, something went wrong, I called Bill, and finally he came in one day and said, "Hey, could I get a list of who's on that, because I don't think I'm on the Building and Grounds team." And so he didn't mind coming in and doing stuff. He just wanted to make sure that the people that were doing it were getting a chance to operate in their gifts. So I want to recognize there's other guys that do things that even if they're not officially on that. A couple of things that are going on. We had a new leak that is in the old building upstairs, which we had a new roof put on right after the tornado that came through. So Scott is looking into that. Huh? Oh, it's fixed. That's cool. See, look at that. I told you these guys. I told you these guys are great. They're a couple of other things. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you know, but up front, that got struck by a vehicle and got twisted around, and so we had to we got a bid in for that. Thank you, Scott. Again, we want to make sure, believe it or not, there are some buildings that still have fuses, and if you don't know what fuses are, Google it or something. That's sad, but we need to have panels in there, and so they're working on that. A couple of other things just to know that will be thrown into there, and Jody mentioned them a little bit. The bid that we came in from the place in Springfield on the lights is just a tick under $3,000, and that's going to require some work on our part on doing some things. David's done all the leg work, thank goodness, on it, but we originally were thinking it was going to be somewhere in the $15,000 to $20,000 range, and if we can do a little bit of the work and save, $12,000 or so, I think it's probably well worth that to be able to do that. In addition to that, Jody mentioned that we have an AED that just came in today, and I say that because I think it's important. We're flirting with disaster. That we haven't had somebody that's gone down with a heart attack recently is probably just a gift of God, because this many people coming together this much of the time, it's important to be able to do that. So we did that, so we'll be able to help if that problem arises. Was there another? Oh, parking lot. We have a couple of parking lot bids, and they came in a lot better. Thank you, Scott, for your work on getting the parking lot bid, but those came in a lot less expensive than what we thought. I mean, this building, it's a lot of use since May of 2011. I mean, there's been a lot of wear and tear on this thing, and so we're playing catch up, and praise the Lord, we've got over $100,000. Not that we're just looking for things to spend it on, but we do want to make sure that we take care of our building. That's important, because that's where that's at. That's any new. Does anybody else have any other new business that they would like to bring to the floor? Is there any other ministry teams that I'm missing? Brian, you got anything on prayer? Okay. I will throw one other thing out. I really want October to be a month of service here at Wlidwood, where we can go out and serve, and then we can come back and tell testimonies. I mean, and as service looks, that's fruit that's produced from our walk. It's one of those things. We go down to Water Gardens the fourth Tuesday of every month and cook breakfast. And again, I just tell you this. I don't know about you, Jake, but those guys bless me, I think, more than we bless them. Just the kindness they show us, and the God blessings. Same thing, the first Wednesday of every month down at Souls Harbor. Get a chance, and the people are just appreciative. And just the small little stories that you get to connect with people, and in some opportunities you get a chance to share the gospel. But just getting a chance to talk to people. I know David and Sarah's home group, they go to the Washington Center at least once a quarter, right? And be able to take care of meals for families over at the Washington Center. A group of deacons went to Life Choices a little over a month ago and replaced all the lighting in there to be able to, number one, save them money and be able to save them time so they could do it. All the lights on the inside of the thing. We've got people that are serving, but man, there's more to do. To go out and let people see the fruit of our salvation. Little things like one of the things that we're going to have coming up. Part of it, we're going to have some Christmas offerings coming up as far as gifts for the Missouri Baptist Children's Home. Things that will go to kids that are in orphanages. Jill Weller is gathering tarps and blankets to be able to hand out to homeless folks as she feeds them. That was just something God put on her heart. East Middle School talked to me and said, hey, we'd love to have a group of people that would come up a couple of times a week and just open the door for students that are coming in and high-fiving them, telling them have a good day. You think that's nuts, but you go spend a Wednesday. I get a chance to go do a Bible study at East Middle School every Wednesday, and you stand in the hall, and some of the darkness and the sadness that emanates from the faces of some of these 7th and 8th graders is just tragic. And just being able to take the, yes, ma'am. Yeah. 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 Wait. Yeah. Wait. Start with a C? Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay. I'm telling you, we've got more kids at Eagles for. Keep praying for that. Wednesday morning at East Middle School, we got more kids than we've ever had before, and we got guys, not just girls. Girls were easy to get; they always wanted to come and do that. But we got guys, and man, they are they want to talk about evangelism this whole semester. So we're talking about sharing the gospel. But to stand at the front door of the school, to be invited by the principal to stand at the front door of the school and open the door and high five, that is a blessing. I mean, I'm just asking that we prayerfully look for ways to serve throughout this month. And then hopefully the fire is going to be lit, and it's going to be something that's going to go out throughout the whole year. I mean, that's what we're called to do. The 4827 East 20th is just the place that we meet at a couple of times. The world is out there is where the church is. So, and by the way, Water Gardens, I'm running off, but I'm okay. I'm preaching. Water Gardens, man, when we took that food down there, Beth and I, we didn't realize how much you had gathered. It took 2 carloads to take it down there, and they were much appreciative because they were running so short in their pantries. There's just a lot of needs out there, a lot of hurting people, and so let's serve well. Anybody have any more old business? Anything? Okay. All right. Well, the last thing I'm going to close on is this, that the budget team meets on the Jody said it, but I want to make sure I emphasize that, the 22nd of this month at 5:30 in the classroom right across the hall there. We are going to start putting together the 2026 budget. If you are doing a ministry and you've been given a sheet, get that thing filled out and get it back to the budget team. So because we want to make sure that we're able to be able to pour into the ministries, and we want to know what you want to hear, or maybe you have some ideas for 2026. We would ask that you get them in writing. So it's easily there, and it's not just. But anybody can come to a budget team meeting. Not only the budget team gets to vote, but anybody can come to the meeting and make a presentation. Man, this is your church. This is yours to be able to pour into, and we always want to be transparent about everything that we do, and so. And that being said, we have a great budget team. We have a great group of people here that serve all throughout the church. So, that being said, can I have, if we don't have any new business, any more old business, a motion, Scott Rattles, a motion to, you don't even want a motion yet, a motion to close that meeting. Okay, we call that adjourning by Robert's Rules of Order. Okay, all right, we have a motion to adjourn. Anybody? Todd, you went like quick on that again. To adjourn that. That being said, everybody in favor of adjourning the meeting, can you say aye? All right, and last but not least, Brian Miller, would you close us in prayer?